Hello and welcome to this CGTN live broadcast. I'm Chengxi coming to you live in Shanghai. We are now at the scene of the Shanghai Fashion Week. It goes from March the 28th to April the 3rd. We're seeing the guests are entering one of our venue here. What we're about to witness is a catwalk presentation by a designer called Rico Lee, who is standing right beside me. And very nice to have you on our program. So can you talk about the philosophy, your design philosophy behind this show? I heard you're combining technology with fashion.
Thank you so much. Our philosophy is we have a slogan. The slogan is beautiful technology, because I work for performance sports area for a very long time, and many people know several years ago, performance is performance, fashion is fashion. There are no relationship. But now, technology and sport and extreme technology is more and more be a part of our life. So we need to combine them together. We need to, the sports is not only sport, it's just a part of our lifestyle. So we need it looks cool, looks fashion. We were proud of our style and it's technology. So our topic, our theme of this fashion show is cyberpunk, because I really love the feeling of the technology and the feeling of the person. The cyberpunk is not just about technology, it's also about the people's feeling.
Yes, we're very eager to see the steampunk and cyberpunk genre, and combining, I think, 3M materials in your clothing. We are eager to see that in just a while. And my final question: you are starting your own fashion brand in China. You used to work for a big corporation. Now you're starting your own brand. How is the design startup environment in China? Is it challenging to launch your own brand in China? How do you think it will go forward in the future?
I think as a very small company and individual designer, the way is really hard, but I think it's a good way, because now people want to see different looks, different feelings, and how to say, I think, and people really do want to see some different products. So I think because now we are trying to make the technology and the fashion together. So I think it's a good way, and I will keep working on this way.
Thank you very much. That was Rico Lee, the designer of this catwalk presentation that is about to start about 5 minutes from now. So congratulations. Hope you a very successful presentation.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Yeah, we are going to broadcast hopefully the entire catwalk and see how Chinese designers are combining this new concept, new technology with fashion. Actually, the slogan of Rico Lee's brand is beautiful technology. So he's trying to combine aesthetics with the functionality of clothing. And we are about to see. And he said the theme of his presentation will be about steampunk and cyberpunk, which are two very fancy notions. And we're about to see how he utilizes these notions in his clothing design. And we know that he is launching a series of clothing that is a crossover between his brand and McLaren, the famous sports car company. So we don't know what to expect, but we're expecting to see some cool stuff. You see that the guests are lining up, and the show is about to start, I think, 4 minutes from now on. And also we see, starting from last year or the year before that, we really see a lot of people live streaming. It's not about us who live stream, a lot of people who live streams at the venue. A lot of what we call key opinion leaders, fashion leaders at social media. They're not affiliated with big companies, but they command millions and millions of fans on social media, and they use their cell phones, use other various platforms, Weibo or Douyu or whatever, to live stream their experience at the Shanghai Fashion Show. I've been watching some of their live streams yesterday. And we see a lot of people holding up their phones, live streaming their experience right now. So we are expecting the show to start. As I said, the Shanghai Fashion Week run from March 28th to April the 3rd. It's not only about catwalk presentations. It's been a 15-year enterprise. It's held annually. Every year it has product launches, theme activities, and what they call fashion weekends, where they have sort of like a trade fair. That's not very far from where we are now, the Xintiandi Park in downtown Shanghai. And a lot of independent, we call them independent fashion purchasers or fashion buyers, attend these fashion fairs to get the latest trend and buy prototypes so they can sell them or market them on their social media platforms. This has become a very popular business model recently. So therefore, the trade fairs in Shanghai during every Shanghai Fashion Week has been dubbed the biggest fashion trade fair in Asia. Because if you do that in China by the sheer head count of our population, you're bound to see it become the biggest thing within the Asian region, at least. We are hearing very intense music playing, and guests are lining up. So I guess the catwalk will start soon. Now this is one of 50 fashion catwalks during the Shanghai Fashion Show, and most of the catwalk presentations today are brought by Chinese fashion designers. And in recent years, we're really seeing the rise of popularity of domestic brands. China is moving from a simple manufacturer of cheap and low value added clothing and now moving up the global fashion value chain. And now China is also doing designs, and Chinese designs, fashion designs are being recognized all over the world. For example, Rico Lee, who I just interviewed, he used to work for, I won't name the names, but two very major sports fashion clothing company, and has been the chief creative designer for the two brands. And now you think time is right to start his very own brand in China. And in fact, he's seeing some improvement in the fashion industry in China in terms of financing, in terms of people's recognition of the Chinese quality and Chinese creativity and Chinese design. And now he launched his brand also during the Shanghai Fashion Week, I think in 2013. So this is already the 5th year that he do a catwalk show here in the Shanghai Fashion Week. Rico Lee is from the Chinese mainland, and a lot of Asian designers are joining the Fashion Week. Apart from him, there are designers from Hong Kong and the Taiwan region, and from Japan, South Korea, Singapore, Malaysia. And together, these Asian designers make up what the Shanghai Fashion Week is, a celebratory event of Asian aesthetics and Asian design, and the force of Asian designers in the fashion business. We're also seeing faces of people who come from all over the world, not only Asians, but I think some foreign faces, people who are also in fashion business in other parts of the world who are also attending. The music is getting ever more intense. I think the show is about to start any minute. People are lining up. So where we are at is the Xintiandi Park, where we will have fashion catwalk presentations, and not far from here there will be also a venue of fashion item exhibitions. A lot of people also pay visits to see the exhibition shows they call neighborhood. There are 20 fashion exhibit shows that is not far away from here. And also, there are also 20 catwalk presentations on children fashion. Children fashion has become an increasingly huge business, not only in China but all over the world. So dressing beautifully is not only for adults, but kids, and even babies. We see people pushing their strollers and holding their babies inside the fashion catwalk. We're seeing one of them. This is a cute baby. For the sake of the fashion show about to start, we're about to turn off the light. Okay, I think the fashion show is starting, so we are turning off our light. I hope you can see it clearly. Oh, this is what we are seeing on the screen is definitely we're definitely seeing a clip from the very popular Japanese anime Ghost in the Shell. It's famously known for its cyberpunk style. Rico Lee just told me that his show will feature a lot of cyberpunk and steampunk elements. And as you can see from the screen, cyberpunk is effectively this idea of mixing technology with the human body. So the technology is becoming a part of the human flesh or the human being. So I guess this is definitely will be his philosophy. We see the models are lining up about to come out. Let's see what he's got. So we're seeing the models wearing, I think, space gray jackets. And according to the description of the series, all the models will be wearing very dark metallic colors, mostly black, white, and gray. So according to Rico, the inside of these jackets will be wool, which reflects heat, specifically reflects infrared heat. So these clothing are supposed to be very warm, and they're designed to look futuristic on the outside. So I guess this is the cyberpunk theme that he was talking about. And also we are seeing orange and black. That's because orange, black, and white. We're seeing another model walking behind. That's because black, orange, and white are the three main colors of the famous car brand, sports car brand McLaren, which Rico Lee is cooperating with for this event. So supposedly, the design for this lineup will be a cooperation between Rico Lee and McLaren, and using the philosophy of that sport car McLaren to design very flexible, easy to dry, and most importantly, wind-resistant material. So this brand has done many crossovers with other brands. Last year, Rico Lee did a crossover with believe it or not, the fast food brand KFC, Kentucky Fried Chicken. So we did see some fanny packs last year with the brand KFC on it. We just saw a model walk by and have tattoos on his face that says "beautiful technology." That's been the slogan of Rico Lee's design. So we're seeing that a lot of the design here are very focused on functionality, using technology to enhance both the aesthetic and the functionality. So as I said, Rico Lee entered the outdoor sports fashion market in 2009, and he thought that most of the sport brands in China, for example, Li-Ning, Anta, and Erk, what have you, had been becoming more homogeneous, meaning most of their designs look pretty much the same. And so he decided to launch his own brand during the Shanghai Fashion Week in 2013. Using his own name, Rico Lee. We're definitely seeing some futuristic elements in here, a lot of silver. And now we're seeing the black and red and orange color. Definitely a crossover with McLaren. And he seems to be a designer that has as a penchant for fanny packs. We saw fanny packs last year, we're seeing fanny packs now. Are fanny packs making a comeback? I don't know. He said his designs for this show were also inspired by film noir, which is a fancy way, a French way of saying black films, black and white films. So we're seeing a lot of blacks here. And apart from McLaren, Rico Lee is also crossing over with other brands for today. Also 3M, a worldwide material maker, a world famous material maker that was responsible for producing some of the warm and shiny materials we are seeing here today. And these 3M materials are being used in some of the clothing lines here from China's Anta group. We're seeing on the screen Rico Lee and McLaren GT. Also, that's what the headgear is for. Sports car racing. Again, white, black, and orange. So this seems to be a brand that is very fond of crossing over with other fashion, other icons in other industries. So many of them have words printed on their face. It's definitely a trick borrowed from the cyberpunk playbook. It's a very futuristic aesthetic, having words on your face. A lot of people are taking their cell phones, streaming or taking pictures. As I said, this is one of the 50 fashion catwalks presentations during the Shanghai Fashion Show. And the French General Council here in Shanghai, which, you know, France represent the capital of fashion, have launched also a series of activities that join hands with the Shanghai Fashion Week. Something to also expect, for people to expect days from now. So Rico Lee is among the panel of guests who attended what the Fashion Week personnel called Mode Talk, practically an industry roundtable for designers and also investors to discuss the future of the fashion industry, not only in the world but especially in China. It's growing. It's an industry that's growing very fast in China. It's estimated that by 2020, the fashion industry in China will surpass 5 trillion yuan. So these people are scheduled to have 12 roundtable sessions that spans 4 days to discuss the future of this industry, especially an industry that puts very high focus on new trends. So now the models are looking straight up like car racers now. I think we are about to enter the third part, and I think the last part of this catwalk, which according to the agenda will be about new material. We see Rico Lee crossing over with 3M and Chinese sports maker Anta Group. So Anta Group is one of the biggest sportswear maker in China. It's one of the major private companies in China's Fujian province. It started as an OEM for major sports brands like Nike and Adidas, and now Anta is making its own products and has been for years sponsoring Olympics athletes. And now it looks like Anta is aiming to putting more fashion, more aesthetics in their design. Oh, I think this is nice. I definitely have one of these hoodies if they're available. So we're seeing from all these crossovers that the Shanghai Fashion Week has developed its very own extensive business models with extensive cooperations with other brands. We're also seeing right across the street from this venue we're in right now an exhibition where the Shanghai Fashion Week is doing together with Disney. So they're using the IP of Disney to design a series of fashion items to commemorate the 90th anniversary of Mickey Mouse, I think. And I also learned from the material that were handed out to me that the Shanghai Fashion Week is making a cooperation with Disney called Make-A-Wish. So they allow children with leukemia to walk the catwalk if that is one of their biggest dreams in life. So a little bit of philanthropy here. So these shiny materials are supposedly used to retain heat. They're designed by 3M. And I think throughout the fashion show, we've seen nothing too exaggerating. I can totally imagine these clothing be in a shop somewhere and not in a museum. Crossing over with famous designers has been a very mature tactics. As I said, it's been a very mature tactic with a lot of sports brands, and we're seeing Anta doing the same. I think as per the customs of any fashion catwalk presentations, at the end of the exhibition, all the models will be coming out and I think also Rico Lee will be coming out soon. Ladies and gentlemen, that is Rico Lee. So ladies and gentlemen, we've reached the conclusion of the catwalk here, and according to some of the industry discussions, in the future, going forward, we're about to see supposedly designers using high technology like AI and big data to supposedly predict fashion trends in the future, and hopefully we'll see some of that happening in a year or so, 2-3 years or so, also in the Shanghai Fashion Week. So we hope that you're getting a little bit of taste of what new Chinese design is like, what the latest fashion trend in China is like. The fashion catwalk has just completed, so we're reaching the end of our live broadcast, and we'll hope to see you next year at this very same event and seeing another brand new fashion catwalk presentation. I'll see you in the next one.